Now, starting with your definition paragraph, let's once again think about revision, and the purpose of this is to really explore where we need to make some changes. So start with checking your claim. Now remember, your claim has to identify your topic and at least hint at the definition. It may actually include the whole definition, but it doesn't have to. Now answer these questions for yourself. First of all, what is your topic? For me, I'm going to answer with love. What is the main point of my definition or part of the definition? Why am I writing about this? So think about what it is that you kind of have to say about this topic. Think about why you chose this topic, what you want the reader to think about, why you think it's worthy of giving their attention to. Now, my thoughts are this. People seem to use the word love when it really just is a like, or when you just really like something, and even sometimes when you barely even know the other person. So in my opinion, I wanted to sort of argue that love is more about a deep liking for someone. So now you're going to go back to your claim. Given your answer to these two questions, ask yourself if your claim includes this information. Now, here's what I came up with. Love is more than just really liking someone. It is when two people deeply care for each other. Now, I'm going to say yes. I believe that my claim does work. I've identified my topic. I have hinted at the definition that really it's a deep care for one another. I haven't fully explored it, but my paragraph is going to do that. So that's when I'm going to get in now to looking more closely at my paragraph, and I'm going to ask myself if I have in fact explained the criteria for knowing if there is a deep care for one another between two people in a relationship. And by criteria, what I mean are sort of the things, the requirements, the checklist of items, the how you know, how you don't know kind of things. And these are the parts that become your definition. So going back to that idea of tracing the boundaries of your definition, you are going to take the time to once again think about your claim, which for me was when two people care deeply for each other is what, is required for love. You want to assess in your paragraph if you have developed the definition by examining the criteria and the support that you have provided. And when you do so, you should be able to answer the question of, do I have enough support? Have I given enough of a definition? And most important, using the other methods of development helps you do this. So please don't underestimate using these other ones. Again, exemplification is the perfect one to use. You have to have examples if you want to show me or tell me what this looks like in everyday life or give me an example. You might use a narrative and explain a personal experience with now not only as an exemplification, but also narration. You might use cause and effect, and you might show me the effect of having this deep care for each other and demonstrate those positive effects. Either way, use them because they will absolutely guarantee that you're developing your ideas. So now is for the analysis. Go through and review this yourself. You want to determine, first of all, the individual criterion for your topic, and you want to ask yourself why. Why is this important? You want to ask yourself, according to your essay or your paragraph, what is your proof? Hopefully, you'll be able to find it, and then you'll be able to answer which MODs you are using to prove this. Now, it's possible that when you go through your paragraph on a certain criterion, you may not feel like you have any proof. And that's okay, because that's why we're doing this. If you realize that you're lacking in examples to support a certain idea, then that's one area that you'll work on during revision. So give this a try, walk through this. Hopefully you have 2 to 3 criterion that you can look at, and you want to be able to answer these questions and just briefly fill in what you have based on your paragraph. Now let's go to my paragraph on love and see what I have in here. Now my first criteria for love is that two people care about the well-being of another, because You want what's best for him and her, and for him or her to be happy. So my argument here is that one aspect of caring deeply about another is that you care about their well-being. And of course you do, because you want what's best for them and you want them to be happy. So now let's go back to my paragraph and let's see what I have here for proof. Now looking over it, it seems that I talked about this. When a friend is upset, listen, give the right advice, and try to cheer him or her up. And that would be exemplification. It is an example with a friend, no one in particular, it's not a story. I'm just saying, for example, if you really love a friend, if they're one of your very best friends, then when he or she's upset, these are things that you would do because you care about the well-being of them, you know them well enough to give the right advice and to cheer them up. Oh, well, actually, that means we're also using cause and effect, because if you know the person well, then you really are able to help them and know what's best. So continue this process on your paragraph, go through the whole thing, see what's working, see what's not, and then think about where you need to do some revision. So how does your paragraph measure up? Well, if you had no problem filling out these questions and you seem to be full of support and methods of development, then you're probably well developed and on your way to a great paragraph. Now, if you had a hard time filling out the questions, then it's quite likely that you need more development, and that's okay because that's why we went through this process. Now's the time to do it, right? Once you have figured out some of the things about your paragraph, such as the strong points and the weaker points, then write your focus question for revision based on any known weaknesses that you already feel are there and that you want to work on. Possibly on where you want to make improvements. Maybe you have a developed paragraph, but again, you don't like one of your examples and you want to do something different. Or maybe you realize you're only using exemplification and you would like to try to weave in other methods of development. And in determining the effectiveness during this review, you might have seen some places that you realize are lacking or have some weak spots as well. So take this time to meet with your partner, take your focus question with you, really go through and get some feedback, figure out where you need to do some work, and we'll see you on the final draft.